guys, today I am going to be doing an update on where I am from my 2021 goals. So you may remember that at the start of January, thereabouts, I set out some goals for both my languages and my life for the rest of the year. So I have the goals rather scruffily written down here, and hence you will see me referring to them. And I'm just going to give you an update on where I am on each goal and how I see those goals progressing as the year moves forward. So the first ones that I had were around my languages, and I split those goals out by the different languages that I am learning. So we will start with Turkish, just because it's my earliest language. It's a language that I talk about most on this channel. So my goal was to get 45,000 words on LingQ by the end of the year, which I actually already have. So we've got that one. I also wanted to understand YouTube videos from native speakers with no problems. I've improved with that, but I would say that that is where my focus will start to move instead of LingQ for the rest of the year. And I wanted to read 2 books. Now I am 460-ish pages through a thereabouts 560-page book, so I definitely set myself a touch of a big goal there. But that said, we've got about 100 pages left, and I have the second book that I am ready to read. What I have done from a book perspective is gone and picked a book that I would more naturally read in English, so that the latter half of the year is a little less difficult going than the start has been, because certainly reading that novel has been tough to motivate myself at times, to say the least. From a Kurdish perspective, I said that I would be working through the workbook that I had, reading one native book and doing a model every day. So I've somewhat shifted the every day to every weekday, just to allow myself a bit of a break at the weekend. But otherwise, I have been keeping up with that. I have a nice Kurdish notebook that's full of those monthly lessons, and I do feel like it's really starting to help me to learn that language. This has been particularly useful. Bear in mind, Kurdish doesn't have a whole lot of resources, so that using the monthly as a guidance on what I should be learning has definitely helped. I've also finished that workbook that I mentioned, and again, that was helpful. Wasn't as helpful as reading a native book, however, and this has really shown me how useful reading novels is for language learning. So whereas in Turkish I really just do read the book, and I learn as I'm going, but it's a fairly natural read. With Kurdish, it's obviously not a natural read because I am so much further back in the language, and so what I'm doing on a daily basis is reading literally a page of my notebook. I'm going through and translating any words that I don't know. So the way that I'm doing that is I will use Google Translate and literally have it on a camera input of the page of the book, so that I can see exactly what that page says, and then I am deducing what each word means. If I have missing words, I have found myself a fantastic Kurdish dictionary that is probably the best I've found, that I am translating the remaining words. And then each day I will do the same thing, and I'm learning more and more words so that I'm having to look up less words, but it is certainly slower going, and I definitely will not have finished that novel by the end of the year. From a French perspective, I said that I wanted to learn 20,000 words on LingQ and read a French book. I have bought my French book, I have it waiting to go, but bear in mind I have my Turkish and Kurdish ones also on the go. I am saving that one for just a touch later in the year. That said, I am on around 16,000 words in LingQ now, and again, on track for that 20,000 by the end of the year, I think. German perspective, I wanted 10,000 words. I'm on about 8,000. And from a Dutch perspective, I also wanted 10,000 words, and again, I'm on around 7,500, thereabouts. So again, I suspect I will have that by the end of the year. German, I am just starting to move past that hump that you get around this stage where I was kind of struggling. I didn't feel like I was getting very far. I'm just starting to move past that with German. Whereas Dutch, I think I'm really still very much in that stage. It always feels slow going. So if I could feel a lot more natural by the end of the year, then that would certainly be an achievement. And I also said with Dutch I wanted to be conversationally fluent, not properly fluent, just I would be able to have a conversation in Dutch. I don't think I'm there right now because I've been focusing more on the general understanding as opposed to the specific conversational elements, but certainly that will become a goal throughout the latter half of the year. Finally, from a Persian perspective. So for Persian, I said that I wanted to be able to write the letters, to understand the phonics confidently, and to have 5,000 words in LingQ. So I'm on 2,000 words in LingQ, so probably on track to get those 5,000. Bear in mind I just started at the start of the year. The phonics I am a lot more confident in, and LingQ is certainly helping with that. However, I wouldn't say I was confident enough to be able to write any word I wanted to right now, though 9 times out of 10 when I'm doing the quizzes in Mondly, I will get it thereabouts right. It will certainly be amber as opposed to red. I think there's just a bit more work with some of the rarer letters, some of the letters that you don't see as often, that I probably need to just knuckle down and focus in on. What I have noticed as I've progressed in my Persian and Kurdish journey is that they are very, very similar languages, and that has really helped from a vocabulary perspective, from an understanding perspective. It's helped me with the Kurdish grammar to some extent. It's helped me recognize words. It's helped click those Persian letters quicker because I'm already recognizing that vocabulary, which is super useful. And certainly this would be another tip for those of you who have languages who have less resources, who are less well known. Maybe look at some of those languages in the same language family branch just to see if potentially they have better resources that you could learn them alongside, and it might help your language learning journey on those without resources.
I also had some non-language goals, which were to walk 2,000 miles or 5 million steps, and I am on track. The average for that is 13,800. We are still on track for that. I'm around 14,000 for the years. I wanted a happy family. They seem happy so far. And I wanted 10k paid down in debt, and we're currently at 5k, so all on track.
And last but certainly not least, I mentioned that I had a new job and that I would like to be happy and flourishing in that new job. It was the best move I ever made to take that job. I love the job, I love my team, I am really happy there, and I really feel like I can bring a lot to that organisation. So I really, really do feel like I'm on track with that one. So with all that said, where does that leave me with the goals, and what do I think it is likely that I will achieve, and what are, I suppose, my new goals for the end of the year? So I always think it's worthwhile updating your goals on a quarterly to half yearly basis. So an update on what I would like to achieve by the end of 2021. I've got my 45,000 words in Turkish, so I would like to finish the 2 books that I have. So I have the 1 book that I've started, I would like to finish that, and I would like to read another one, and I would like to focus in for the rest of the year on more listening and more YouTube channel, more Netflix. So I will be changing my language structure, focusing less on LingQ and focusing kind of more into all the listening. So that language journey is certainly going to change. So the same goals for Turkish, but it's changed how my habits will work with it. From a Kurdish perspective, I still want to do the Mondly every weekday, just as I did before. I have already finished that workbook, so done. And for that native level book, I would like to just keep going. So I think all I can really say for a goal with that one is that I would like to keep going with doing that every day. And I would also like to make myself some flashcards so that I can do more regular practice, more spaced repetition and all that good stuff. From a French perspective, my goals are the same, 20,000, and that book, German and Dutch, also the same goals, 10,000 words and a conversation in Dutch. From a Persian perspective, again, the same goals, 5,000 words, and I would like to confidently know the phonics and how to write in Persian. Steps, again, my goal remains the same, though I would like to be kind to myself about this, and if I don't feel like I'm going to achieve it, if I could manage to get very close to that, I would still be happy. Weight, we've already discussed. I'd like to be 7 pounds lighter by summertime, but I would like to be the same, so the 10 pounds lighter than I was at Christmas, which is the same weight I am now, by the end of the year. So no weight by the end of the year, 7 for the summertime. I'm not going to tell you exactly what those figures are right now, and that's purely because we might have people watching who are very scale bound. My body is different to yours, my height is different to yours, how my body holds weight is different to yours. So my goals shouldn't necessarily be your goals. So I'm going to hold back on the weight and just tell you the pound amount. But suffice to say that that is within my healthy weight range. That is not below my healthy weight range or above it at any point. In addition to all that, I would still like my holiday. We shall see if that happens. If it doesn't happen, I think it's likely that it's going to be COVID that prevents that, but we are on track for saving the money and everything for the holiday. I just think it might be a challenge because of the global situation right now. But fingers and toes crossed. The debt, I think we're on track to pay off 10k. In fact, I suspect we're on track to pay a touch higher, but I'm going to keep it as a 10k goal just so that if there is an overachievement, then I can count it as such. New job, I would still like to do well in. That goal hasn't changed. My happy family goal has not changed. And that is about that, to be honest. So with all that said, those are my updated goals. That's an update on my progress, and I would love to hear about how you are doing with your goals and if you have made progress on the New Year's resolutions that you set yourself at the start of the year. Please do comment below and let me know. Please also like the video, it does help me grow as a channel. We are officially over 1,000 subscribers now, and I would love to continue growing with you. If you aren't already subscribed, with that in mind, please do subscribe. We have loads of language content, loads of self-care, self-improvement and self-discovery content. I can't wait to see you next week. Thanks for watching.